Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. Yahweh, in the name of the Heavenly Father, Yahushai is the only begotten Son, our Lord and Savior. To all the beautiful brothers of Great Millstone, and to the like-minded brothers, the men of the Lord, pushing the gospel throughout the four corners of the earth in these last days, in all hopes to seal the elect. Shalom. To my elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who taught us all, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, I give double honors. And to the sincere Aqua, that will be the sisters that listen and subscribe, Shalom. Topic for this lesson is going to be the big "we told you so" will come. And it has to come, because it was written. All of these things were written, and the men of the Lord, starting from the apostles on down, have been out there prophesying for years about these things, and they got all the mocking and the scoffing, right? But I'm realizing that a lot of people are becoming more and more silent as these prophecies pop off, and not to boast, but you see, it's about time the world begin to realize who actually have the truth, right? A lot of them are still oblivious to the truth, but the time is going to come when they're going to realize who have the truth. So while these other Israelite camps are busy with their folly, a lot of them being paid off, we are getting to understand. And you have Christianity doing their do, and a lot of them busy trying to debunk the Hebrew Israelites, which is pretty much a waste of time, because Baruch the 2nd and the 4th chapter pretty much tell you why the Israelites are in the state that they're in today. The Israelites being the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? Those are the biblical Israelites today. And then you have the ones likened unto speckled birds, who they look like heathens, they look like the other nations, but they have the spirit of an Israelite within them, right? That ties them back to the lineage of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You understand? So Baruch the 2nd chapter and the 4th chapter tell you why the Israelites are in the state that we're in today, and what was prophesied to happen to us in these last days. That's what's happening, and these people are upset about it. So while them busy wasting them time trying to debunk us, Esau is setting up the new world order and the events that will catapult the inhabitants of the earth, except the elect, of course, into the new world order system. You understand? Check this out. Look at this. Digital IDs just the start. You see? It's just the beginning. You understand? And as you can see there when you zoom in, it says this lady here, Amanda Black, marketing manager at Epicenter Stockholm, uses a smartphone to scan you see the word, developed by the Disruptive Subdermals company, and implanted into her hand to reveal her fill in the blank status. You see that? So this is only just the beginning phase, that's what they must say. So they need an identification, right? They need an identification. You understand me? I say this is how it's gonna start out, right? So hold on, Salakia, let me just hit this. Perfect. All right, let's go. So yeah, man. So, and it's all gradualism, because what's happening is they're warming up the people's minds slowly, to the new system until it becomes the norm. You understand? All roads ultimately lead to the MOTB, which is the CHIP, that will be inserted. By now we should know, what the MOTB mean. If you're following the true men of the Lord, by now you should know. And John the Revelator saw it. That was what he saw. You understand? Let's get Revelation chapter 13. Yeah, y'all know where I'm going. Can start it at verse 15. Points in 16. Let's read on. This is Revelation 13 chapter verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, right? That the image of the beast should both speak So you see the system, the image of the beast is a system, you know. The beast represent NATO and the EU, the upper echelon of Esau that's in rulership of the world today, right? And the system, the image of the beast is that system. You understand? That the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Exactly. So the image of the beast speaking, that's talking about the laws and the policies, of the beast system that will be put in place. You understand? And the ones that don't pledge allegiance to this are, that submit themselves, because that's what the word worship there. It's not literally worship. It's not worship as in bow down and worship. It's talking about you, pledging allegiance or submitting, right, to it. You understand? So who don't do that, will be killed, and that's going to be mainly the martyrs of the elect, because you have a few selected, to be martyrs, right? Then you have those, that simply oppose it. They are going to be put to death as well. So you're going to have a lot of Jakes opposing it, not for righteousness' sake, but just for the sake of being rebellious, right? And they're going to meet their demise. You understand? And then you have the whole FEMA camp thing. You understand? Look up the red, yellow, and blue list, right? People on the red list are the ones that should be exterminated. The yellow list, the followers of the red listers, who would be tortured for turn back, and you have the people on the blue list completely harmless, and those of us who actually live outside of Babylon, like us here in Jamaica, we should not feel like we are exempted from this. You understand me? So we are not exempted. Nobody at all. You might not be living in Babylon, but you're not exempted. You understand? Because guess what's gonna happen? A lot of us, when the demonization come in and we're deemed as terrorists, we're gonna be extradited to the United States. You understand? We're gonna be extradited. Let's get the meaning of that word. Extradite. To remove a person from one state to another by a legal process. Boom. Yeah, by a legal process. So when you have a criminal that should be extradited to the US, it is legal, because you're carrying him over there to serve time or to do whatever, to go on trial or whatever. So a lot of us are going to be going over there, CIA agents or the FBI, whoever, are going to extradite us over there. Or this is just a possibility, right? Or you can have the government hunt us down and take us in. You understand me? I say we enter through some door and then boom, you buck up on CIA agents, with the executioner and the guillotines. They're waiting, because right now in America they have smart guillotines. They ordered a lot of them, right? And they have the coffins that can hold multiple bodies. All of this is not there in them camps, for decoration. They're going to be used. You understand me? I say so. Anybody outside of Babylon the Great, North America, we're not exempted. We just might get extradited over there, or they come down here and partner up with the government. We should be expecting the unexpected in these times and praying for the spirit, from on high, sent by way of Yahweh Shemi Ashai, to endure. You understand? Yeah, man. Let's go back in Revelation. Back in Revelation 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And we know the mark there, go back to the word charagma, and the root word for charagma is charax. See? And then the root word for charax is grapho. Charagma, that mark. See? Charax being that sharp instrument. You understand what I say? That is used to that would be used to administer, the CHIP. And then you have the grapho, which is information. Put it this way. In ancient Rome, let's make it a little bit easier. In ancient Rome, the carax, which is that sharp stick, which is likened unto a palisade, you know what I mean? The carax was used to mark, to charagma the grapho on tablets, and clay tablets that were rolling around the neck of slaves. You understand? So they use the carax, which is that sharp palisade-like instrument, to charagma, to mark, the grapho, the written information on tablets that were rolling around the neck of slaves to show who owned them. You understand? Let's translate that to the modern day Roman Empire now, which is North America. Headed by which is the revived Roman Empire, headed by Babylon the Great. You understand? So now that's talking about North America. So let's do the translation now. So what's gonna happen is that the carax, right? In this time, the carax will be used to insert the charagma, which carries the grapho. You understand? So the needle is going to be used to insert the CHIP, which is the charagma, which carries the grapho, digitally written information. You understand? So there is no way on earth. You understand? So it's the same thing. Same modern day Rome follow ancient day Rome. You understand? It's the same thing, but it's just technologically modernized. You understand? And it's easy. You see, I hear people talking about the mark is a philosophy. I have a friend of mine at work, don't really get into the deep stuff with him, but he's a Jehovah's Witness. He believes that the MOTB is something that's not physical. Wish him all the best with that. And this CHIP can store, it has up to 15,000 pages, right? It can store 15,000 pages of info, and money will be digitally stored on it as well. Because why? Cash is gonna become obsolete. See? Hold on a minute. Check this out. Obsolete. No longer in use. Gone into disuse. That's what's gonna happen to this fiat currency that you see, especially Jake like to brandish. This paper money is gonna come to naught. You understand? And when you read the scripture, it say he caused it all. He caused the people to take it. So the conditions are going to be created, and food is one of the main things. Food is one of the main things you're going to use. You understand? See, let's check this out. And this is what's going on now. A couple brothers did lessons on it. This is what's happening. Food shortages magnified by a string of destroyed food processing facilities. This is not a coincidence. See? Strange trend of food processing plant fires appears across the US. This is not coincidence. At least 16 fires have broken out at food processing plants, impacting the nation's supply of beef and poultry. Out of all of the things to attack, beef and poultry, the most heavily consumed food. This is not a coincidence. 16 places so happen to break out food plants, so happen to break out fire. Wow. See, them even have a map here, and the brother GMS Inquirer early even entitled it, no coincidence, people will die of starvation, and it's true, because that's what's coming, that's what's coming. A famine is coming, whether people like it or not, and it is going to bring chaos. It will bring chaos. Straight in a second address, man, them know the scripture already. 2nd Esdras 15:19. We can start it there, because that's the point. See? And it says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Lack of bread, shortage of food. Destroy their houses with the sword. Modern day sword is the gun or any form of weapon that can be used, you know. But what about the men of the Lord? What about the Lord's servants? You know, what about the men that are diligently, you know, serving Yahweh Hashem Yahushua on a daily basis? What's gonna become of them? You know? Isaiah 65 and verse 13. Therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. Especially when you see, you know, your kids dropping dead, ribs sprinting out, you know what I mean? Lips white and cracked, hungry, hunger riding them for days, you know what I mean? It's going to be pure misery up in this place, y'all. Up in this place we call earth in these times, you know what I mean? And then this is when they're going to use the MOTB for access to groceries, you know, to buy or to sell or to even eat. And that is when we are going to see who will actually retain spiritual integrity. You understand what I say? That's when we're going to really see the true believers in them time there. You know, everybody believing in the Most High until times get super hard, man. You know what I mean? Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 5. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his harm, and whose heart departed from the Lord. So here it is, you have to sell out the Most High, you know, according to these people who trust in Heavenly Father. You have to sell him out, you know what I mean, for flesh. You know, you have to take the MOTB so you can eat, you know what I mean. You have to take it, you understand? And this proves, yo, because that's how the devil get down, you know. You see, this mark is carnal, and only the spiritual integrity will suffice in these times. You understand what I say? You need the ways of the spirit for counteract the ways of the flesh. You understand what I say? In this big we told you so moment that is coming, you know, and we can see it already. So a lot of these people, them get fucked because them not have no covering. You know what I mean? Point has been made. That's it through the spirit. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Our praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Shalom.